None of us wakes up one morning and suddenly has arthritis. There's no blaring alarm, no flashing red light, no doctor standing at your bedside to whisper, "Today is the day you begin to lose your ability to walk." Arthritis doesn't strike like a hammer. It creeps in like a shadow, quiet, uninvited, unnoticed. It begins with the smallest things. A bit of stiffness after sitting too long. A faint clicking in your knee as you go up the stairs. A moment of imbalance even though the floor is perfectly flat. Or the ache in your fingers while opening a bottle. Something you've done 100 times with no trouble before. And the saddest part is, we dismiss it. We blame fatigue, the weather, or simply age. We delay listening. We wait for more obvious signs. Sharp pain, swelling, deformity. Forgetting that the scariest thing about arthritis isn't the pain. It's how silently it steals your independence, bit by bit. There's a well-known saying, you don't realize the value of health until you can no longer walk. And that's exactly why I made this video, to help you recognize the 5 earliest signs of arthritis that most people ignore. The signs that feel as light as a breeze, yet are the body's first whispers, pleading for attention, before it's forced to scream in lasting pain. If you can catch these signs in time, you can change everything. Lower the risk of permanent cartilage damage. Preserve your mobility and flexibility. Avoid the painful dependent stages, and most importantly, maintain your independence with every step you take. Because after the age of 50, every step is no longer just a movement. It's a symbol of strength, of freedom, of trust in your own body. So let's dive into each of these signs, and if you recognize even one of them, please don't ignore it. We'll begin with the very first signal, a sound so small you may have heard it, but never truly listened. Imagine you're walking up a familiar staircase in your home. Everything is quiet until suddenly, click. A dry, abrupt sound comes from your knee. No pain, no sting, just a soft pop, barely enough to make you pause. And then you shrug it off. It's nothing, maybe it's just a chilly morning. And you keep walking as if nothing happened. But I want you to stop and think for a moment. Just like a door that starts creaking every time it opens. It's not random. It's a sign that the hinge is dry, rusting, or under too much pressure. Your body is no different. That clicking in your joints, especially in the knees, wrists, or shoulders, should not be ignored. In medical terms, this sound is called crepitus, an early indicator of abnormal friction between joint surfaces, often caused by the thinning of your cartilage cushion. When healthy, cartilage acts like a smooth buffer, allowing your bones to glide effortlessly. But over time, due to aging, small injuries, or a sedentary lifestyle, that cartilage can begin to wear down without you even realizing it. At some point, when you sit, stand, twist, or rotate your wrist, your bones start to gently brush against one another, and that sound is their first whisper. But why do we often ignore it? Because it doesn't hurt, because it only lasts a second, because we're too busy worrying about everything else. But here's the truth. This is the perfect moment to intervene. If you take action when the only sign is a faint sound, you give your joints a chance to heal, or at the very least, prevent serious degeneration. Here are a few accompanying signs to watch. For alongside that click, a slight sense of looseness in the joint when walking, needing to brace yourself or push off something to stand, a lack of smoothness when rotating your shoulder or neck, a consistent popping sound in your knees as you climb stairs. If you've experienced 2 or more of these signs, it's likely your cartilage has already begun to deteriorate. But here's the good news. You can still do something, starting today. Here are some simple yet powerful steps. Add collagen-rich foods to your diet, like bone broth, salmon, or eggs. Engage in gentle physical activity, such as walking, yoga, or slow cycling to keep joints flexible. Avoid sitting in one position for more than 30 minutes. Stand up, stretch, and move your joints for a few minutes. Maintain a healthy body weight to reduce the load on your joints, especially your knees. Did you know? A study published in Arthritis and Rheumatology found that people who experienced frequent clicking in their knees, even without pain, were twice as likely to develop full-blown knee arthritis within 12 months compared to those without the sound. That's why silence is not always a sign of health. Sometimes it's your body trying to speak to you in the quietest, gentlest way. So what will you do? You can ignore that little click for one more day, assuming it's harmless, or you can listen to it as a loving warning from your own body. Because when caught early, you can prevent the painful, expensive, and limiting stages that come later. In the next section, we'll explore the second early sign, often mistaken for just sleeping in the wrong position, yet one of the clearest indicators of early arthritis. Have you ever found yourself needing a few minutes in the morning just to stretch out your legs or arms? If so, don't miss what's coming next. Morning. The first light peeks through the curtains. You open your eyes, take a deep breath, and then try to roll out of bed. But your body doesn't respond right away. Your arm is slow to move. Your knees resist straightening. Your fingers feel stiff and achy, as if they fell asleep in the wrong position. And so you sit still for a few minutes, shaking your hands, tapping your feet to the floor, trying to warm up your body like an old engine that needs a few cranks before it runs. If this sounds familiar, pause for a moment. Because this is not just a sign of aging, it's one of the earliest signs of arthritis, especially rheumatoid arthritis. Arthritis isn't always caused by wear and tear. Sometimes it comes from within, from your own immune system. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease, meaning your immune system mistakenly attacks your joints instead of protecting them. And this battle usually happens at night while you sleep. The result? You wake up in the morning with mildly swollen, inflamed joints. They're stiff, sluggish, no longer fluid or smooth. It may take 30 to 60 minutes or more before they begin to loosen up. And most people think it's normal. But morning stiffness is not normal. It's a precise biological signal used by rheumatologists to help diagnose early stages of rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, and other inflammatory autoimmune diseases. The longer the stiffness lasts, the higher the chance that chronic inflammation is at play. You can try a simple self-test tomorrow morning. Note how long it takes to fully stretch your legs or arms comfortably. Pay attention to any clicking, mild pain, or difficulty bending. Compare the stiffness in small joints, fingers, wrists, with larger joints, knees, hips. If the stiffness lasts more than 30 minutes, especially if paired with fatigue, slight weight loss, or a lingering low-grade fever, you should see a rheumatologist. Why is this so important? If rheumatoid arthritis goes untreated in its early phase, within just 1 to 2 years, you could face joint deformities, loss of ability to grip or walk, increased risk of heart disease due to systemic inflammation. But if it's caught early, the disease can be effectively managed. And in many cases, you can live a healthy life without major complications. So what should you do if you're experiencing morning stiffness? Keep your joints warm at night, especially during colder months. Try gentle mobility exercises right in bed. Finger stretches, wrist circles, leg extensions, 5 to 10 minutes each morning. Eat anti-inflammatory foods like fatty fish, turmeric, berries, and dark leafy greens. Stay hydrated. Dehydration can make joint movement harder. And most importantly, don't delay medical evaluation if the symptoms persist. Did you know? According to the American College of Rheumatology, ACR, Over 50% of rheumatoid arthritis patients are diagnosed after irreversible joint damage has already occurred, simply because they believed morning stiffness was just a part of aging. That's why I urge you, listen to your body, especially in the morning. Your body never lies. It only whispers, hoping you'll be wise enough to hear it. In the next part, I'll share the third warning sign, one that is often dismissed as just being tired, weak, or having sore muscles. But in reality, it's how arthritis quietly robs you of your strength. Have you ever found yourself taking longer to open a jar, wringing a towel with less force, or losing your grip more easily? If yes, then you absolutely shouldn't miss what's coming next. Have you ever experienced something like this? You try to open a bottle of water, the kind you use to twist open in a second. But today, you have to pause, switch hands, or even ask someone else for help. Or maybe, after washing your face, you wring out the towel and notice your grip isn't what it used to be. Sometimes you drop a spoon or your phone, not because it slipped, but because your hand couldn't hold it tightly enough. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know, it's not that you're weak, it's that your strength is being stolen from within. When small joints speak, but you think it's just muscle. Fatigue arthritis doesn't just strike large joints like the knees or hips. It often begins silently in the small joints, especially in the fingers, wrists, and feet. These areas are packed with nerves and connective tissue that are essential for strength and precision. One of the earliest signs of rheumatoid arthritis is a loss of grip strength, but without pain. At first, you might just feel mild fatigue or a subtle lack of coordination. You may write more slowly, have trouble slicing vegetables, or fumble while zipping your coat. Most people mistake this for aging muscle loss, vitamin B deficiency, or simply overworking. But in reality, silent inflammation in these small joints may already be damaging cartilage and ligaments, disrupting the connection between your nerves, muscles, and bones. Your feet take the first hit. Arthritis doesn't spare your feet. You might notice fatigue after short walks, tingling or pins and needles in your toes, needing softer shoes in the morning because your feet feel stiff, mild cramping, or a lack of ankle flexibility. This isn't just poor circulation or nerve problems. In many cases, it's long-term inflammation in the small foot joints, altering the way you walk, eventually leading to full body imbalance. It's not about strength, it's about stability. Weak joints don't necessarily take away your ability to move, but they slowly chip away at your confidence. You begin to avoid carrying heavy things, hesitate to walk long distances, turn down activities that require fine motor skills like cooking, sewing, or playing an instrument. Eventually, you avoid movement altogether, which weakens your muscles, deprives your bones of stimulation, and accelerates joint damage. This is the silent downward spiral that many fall into, all because they didn't realize that dropping a spoon wasn't just a fluke. Try this. The 1-minute grip strength test. Grab a dry face towel, wring it tightly with both hands, then write a short sentence using your dominant hand. Finally, lift a 1-liter bottle and hold it for 10 seconds. If you feel unusual fatigue, reduced strength, or mild pain in your wrist or fingers, that could be your body's early warning sign. So, what can you do? Begin light resistance exercises for your hands and feet, like squeezing a foam ball, lifting light dumbbells, or walking daily. Eat enough protein and collagen-rich foods to maintain muscle and joint health. Supplement with omega-3 and vitamin D to support your immune system and fight inflammation. And most importantly, stop brushing off small signs. Every time your hand trembles or your foot wobbles, it's your musculoskeletal system speaking loud and clear. Did you know? A study from Mayo Clinic found that people over age 45 who show early signs of grip strength loss are 2.8 times more likely to develop rheumatoid arthritis within the next 3 years. That means when your hand weakens, your joints are speaking. The question is, are you listening? In the next section, I'll take you to the fourth early sign, something many people dismiss as simple fatigue, that eerie feeling that your leg might give out, that your knee could suddenly buckle underneath you. You're walking on a flat surface, everything feels normal, and then suddenly, your knee gives way, as if it wanted to buckle without your permission. No pain, no swelling, just a strange sensation, like someone gently pulled the chair out from under your knee. If that has ever happened to you, please don't ignore it. Because joint instability is one of the earliest and most dangerous signs of progressive arthritis. When ligaments stop holding things together, joints don't operate alone. They're supported by ligaments, which keep bones in the right place, tendons, which attach muscles to bones, and muscles, which create movement. When inflammation sets in, even if mild, your body instinctively starts to compensate, to reduce pain by shifting weight to the other leg, changing your walking pattern, avoiding pressure on the affected area. This may help short-term, but long-term it weakens the surrounding ligaments and muscles, making the joint unstable. Are you experiencing any of these? Feeling like your knee might collapse when walking fast? Needing to hold onto walls or railings when going downstairs? Shifting your weight predominantly to one leg while walking? Avoiding bending, twisting, or stairs out of fear of dislocation? Having trouble maintaining balance when standing on one foot? If you've noticed 2 or more of these signs, your body is warning you. Your joint is losing its ability to support itself. Don't wait for a fall to start caring. Many people first learn they have serious arthritis not because of pain, but because of a fall. A fall after age 50 can cause hip fractures, with a 1-year mortality rate as high as 20%. Permanently reduce your confidence in moving, lead to reliance on walkers, or worse, a wheelchair. And it often begins with a moment of unsteadiness on an ordinary day. Why do joints become unstable? Chronic inflammation breaks down collagen around the joint. Muscles weaken from lack of consistent movement. Cartilage thins, eliminating the joint's natural locking mechanism. Ligaments stretch and lose their ability to hold bones in place. Especially in older adults, lack of movement reduces bone density, causing internal and external instability. So what can you do? Strengthen your joints with balance and stability exercises. Try standing on one leg, gentle squats, knee lifts, or walking in a pool. Use a knee or ankle brace in early stages to support the joint during movement. Ensure adequate intake of protein, collagen, and calcium to maintain strong connective tissue. Avoid sitting in one position for more than 30 minutes. Keep moving regularly, did you know? A study published in the Journal of Gerontology. Adults over 60 who feel unstable in their joints are 3 times more likely to fall, even without visible joint damage on scans. That means your subjective feeling matters. If you feel wobbly, believe your body is sounding the alarm. Don't let instability steal your freedom. I know the feeling of having to grip a table just to stand, or cautiously testing every step on a staircase. But you can reverse this if you act early enough. Your joints don't need surgery to bounce back. They just need you not to ignore those first unstable moments. Because every steady step you take is a declaration. I'm still in control of my body. Let me ask you honestly, have you ever felt completely exhausted without doing anything strenuous? You tidy up a small corner of the kitchen and have to sit down to rest. You go grocery shopping for 30 minutes and need a nap afterward. Or worse, you sleep enough, eat well, and still feel sluggish, foggy, and drained. If this happens repeatedly over several days, pay close attention. It's not because you're lazy or just getting older. It could be one of the most silent signs of chronic arthritis. Inflammation isn't just in the joints, it's systemic. When people hear arthritis, they think of joint pain, but in truth, inflammation is a full-body immune response. That means if your knee is inflamed, your whole body is reacting, not just the knee. Inflammatory molecules like cytokines, interleukins, and TNF-alpha are constantly released to fight even minor joint damage. These substances circulate in the blood, reach the brain, affect the gut, spread through muscles. And this is why you might experience persistent fatigue, a heavy feeling in your body without any clear illness, increased irritability, anxiety, or mental fog. This is known in medical science as inflammatory fatigue, and arthritis is one of its most common triggers. Inflammatory fatigue versus regular fatigue. Let me help you distinguish the difference. Normal activity, fatigue, inflammatory fatigue, muscle soreness after exertion. Feeling exhausted even after rest, recovers after 1 to 2 hours of rest. Needs long naps yet still feels tired. Body feels tired but functional. Body seems normal but lacks strength. Mind stays alert. Mental fog, apathy, or emotional fatigue. If you identify more with the right-hand column, your body might be fighting something you can't see. Fatigue is often the final whisper before the storm. In many cases of rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, or lupus, the first symptom isn't pain, it's fatigue. And because it's vague, many people end up misdiagnosed with depression. Taking vitamins that don't address the root cause. Skipping in-depth checkups until the joints are already damaged. If you feel like you've aged rapidly over the past few months, ask your doctor to check for inflammation markers in your blood, CRP, ESR, ANA. Many early arthritis cases are caught through these simple tests. What can you do to feel better? Sleep well and on time. Aim for 7 to 8 hours and go to bed before 11 p.m. to allow anti-inflammatory hormones to work. Eat natural anti-inflammatory foods, such as turmeric, fatty fish, leafy greens, and berries. Reduce sugar, fried foods, and stimulants. These increase systemic inflammation. Exercise gently, even if you're tired. A 15-minute daily walk can help lower inflammatory cytokines. Stay hydrated. Even mild dehydration can double the sensation of fatigue. Most importantly, don't dismiss your fatigue. It's not laziness. It's your body's first cry for help. Did you know? A study from Stanford University found that 80% of early-stage arthritis patients experienced systemic fatigue before they ever noticed joint pain. And sadly, most of them assumed they were just getting old or stressed out. You deserve a life that doesn't feel drained. You weren't born to wake up exhausted. You don't deserve to accept weariness as a normal part of aging. Your body can feel strong again if you listen to its quiet signals. Unexplained fatigue is often the final whisper before your joints begin to scream. And if you hear it in time, you can change the course of the disease altogether. By now, you and I have walked through the 5 earliest warning signs of arthritis, signals that are often overlooked, yet are golden opportunities to change the destiny of your joints. Let's recap. The clicking sound, a small noise, but the first cry for attention. Morning stiffness, a classic symptom of silent inflammation. Loss of strength in the hands or legs, when your body starts losing control over its own power. A feeling of instability or wobbliness, when the risk of falling and imbalance increases. Persistent fatigue, the quiet sign of systemic inflammation that goes unnoticed. If you've experienced one or more of these signs, I want to say this to you, loud and clear. You don't have to wait to become an arthritis patient before you take action. You can start your recovery today. Arthritis is not a life sentence for your legs. Many believe arthritis is something to accept as a normal part of aging, but that belief is not true. Arthritis does not mean you'll be stuck with a cane forever. It doesn't mean you won't be able to walk to the store, play with your grandkids, or enjoy a sunset stroll. If caught early and managed wisely, you can slow it down or even reverse its course. So where should you start? You don't need a 20-step complex protocol. Just begin with 5 simple, practical changes you can do right at home. 1. Add natural collagen to your diet. Drink bone broth 2 to 3 times per week. Eat salmon or sardines with skin for marine collagen. Keep the skin on chicken when roasting or making soup. Collagen isn't just for glowing skin. It's one of the most powerful raw materials for rebuilding cartilage. 2. Move your joints gently. Every day. Take a 15 to 20-minute walk. Do wrist, ankle, and knee rotations each morning. If movement is painful, try water-based activities like gentle swimming or walking in a pool. Movement increases circulation, prevents stiffness, and keeps muscles strong. 3. Fight inflammation. Through food, cut back on sugar, fried foods, and ultra-processed meals. Increase dark leafy greens, berries, turmeric, omega-3 from fish and seeds. You're not just eating to survive, you're eating to heal your joints. 4. Support mental well-being and proper sleep. Get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, going to bed before 11 p.m. Limit blue light. 1 hour before bedtime. Try 5 minutes of meditation or deep breathing every evening to reduce inflammation. Your joints don't recover when you're stressed. They recover when you rest properly. Listen to your body and get checked when necessary. If something feels off for more than 2 weeks, see a joint specialist. Don't rely on over-the-counter painkillers forever. Find the root cause. Track your symptoms daily. You know your body better than anyone else. You don't need to be perfect, just be consistent. You don't need to overhaul your entire life in 1 week. You don't need to be a nutritionist or a personal trainer. You just need to start. 1 step, 1 change, 1 choice. And I'm here to remind you, as long as you stay proactive, you still control the health of your joints. Did you know? A 70-year-old who detects arthritis early and makes lifestyle changes can maintain independent mobility until 90. But a 60-year-old who ignores the 5 early signs and waits until joints deform might lose the ability to walk independently in just 2 years. Your health is not written in your genes, it's shaped by the choices you make every day. Now you know the early signs, you understand the mechanisms and the risks, and you hold in your hands practical solutions. The only question that remains is, will you take action today? You've just walked with me through a journey, from the subtlest, quietest signs of arthritis to the practical steps you can begin today. I didn't share this to scare you, and I'm not offering some miracle fix like so many others do. I simply want you to understand one thing: you are not alone, and you are not powerless. Every small step you take is a declaration of life. You choose bone broth over soda, that's a step. You choose a 10-minute morning walk instead of lying in bed, that's a step. You choose to learn about your health instead of leaving it to chance, that's a step. And you choose to listen to your body instead of ignoring it. That's the most important step of all. The step you take today might be what keeps you standing 5 years from now. Share this so others can take action too. If something in this video made you recognize yourself, if it helped you better understand what's been happening in your body, leave a comment below. Let me know which of the 5 early signs you've experienced. Share a dish, a habit, or an exercise that helped you feel better, because your experience might help someone else. Avoid an unwanted joint surgery. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. So every week, I can send you gentle reminders, trusted knowledge, and real stories of healing.